So, if you're a massage therapist, I'm sure you've wondered, is it really possible to make more money and have a schedule that actually works for you? Well, today we're going to put the freelance platform Zeel under the microscope and see if their promise of up to $85 an hour is the real deal. Let's dive in. First things first, let's look at the number that catches everyone's eye. On the left, you've got the reality for a lot of folks in a traditional spa, around $25 an hour. But then look at the right. That's what Zeel is promising, up to $85 an hour. That is a massive difference, right? And it's exactly why we need to figure out what Zeel is all about.
So what is Zeel? At its core, it's basically a matchmaker. Think of it as an on-demand marketplace that connects licensed freelance massage therapists like you with clients who need appointments outside of a typical spa. We're talking in-home massages, appointments at hotels, and even filling in at spas that are short-staffed.
Okay, let's get back to the money. Zeel advertises a rate of $70 to $85 per hour. Now you got to remember, they do take a commission, which is around 30%. But even with that, you're looking at a take-home pay that's often double what you'd see at a typical chain spa. And it gets better. On top of that really high hourly rate, you keep 100% of your tips. And here's the kicker. Zeel often adds a suggested 18% tip right onto the client's bill, and that goes straight to you. That can be a huge boost to your income.
All right, so the pay sounds amazing, right? But what does it actually take to get on the platform and start taking these gigs? Let's break down exactly what you'll need and what the process looks like.
Okay, so what do you need to get in the door? Well, the first two are no-brainers for any professional. You need massage experience, and you absolutely need your state license. But that third one, liability insurance, that's where freelancing starts to feel a little different, because you have to get that on your own.
And let's talk about that insurance for a sec, because Zeel is really specific. They require a policy with $3 million in total liability and at least $1 million in coverage for each incident. This is a serious policy, and it's a cost you're going to have to cover yourself, so it's something you definitely have to factor into your budget. Once you've got all your documents in order, the sign-up process is pretty straightforward. You fill out the application online, upload your license and proof of insurance, and then comes the best part. You are completely in the driver's seat. You just tell the app when you're available, and it starts sending you jobs. You have all the power to say yes to the ones you want and no to the ones you don't.
Okay, so we've been talking about all this money you can make. But, and there's always a but, being an independent contractor isn't just about what you earn. It's also about what you spend. Let's dig into the true cost of freelancing to get the whole picture. This is the reality of being your own boss. It's a classic two-sided coin. On the one hand, the gains are awesome. That high hourly rate, 100% of your tips, and some nice payment protections we'll talk about. But on the other side, you're now on the hook for everything. Travel, gas, your insurance, supplies like linens. And yeah, the big one people always forget, you have to set aside money for your own taxes. You really have to start thinking like a small business owner.
But even with all those extra costs, the earning potential can be a total game changer. I mean, listen to what this former spa therapist had to say. Making the same amount of money in 1 hour that used to take 2? That's a pretty powerful reason why so many people feel like the trade-offs are absolutely worth it.
Now, this is a really important feature Zeel has to protect you, especially when you're filling in at spas. You get paid either based on your actual hands-on time or a guaranteed minimum for the block of time you were booked. And here's the best part. You automatically get paid whichever of those two is higher, so you always get the better deal. No more showing up for a dead shift and making next to nothing. Money is a huge piece of the puzzle, for sure. But what's it actually like day to day? Let's talk about the lifestyle, the incredible freedom versus the reality of the mobile grind, and of course, the big one, safety. This right here, this is it. This is the #1 reason therapists choose to go freelance, complete and total autonomy. You want to take every Tuesday off? Go for it. Only feel like working in the mornings? Not a problem. There's no manager you have to ask for time off, and there are no minimum hours you have to hit. It's all about building a career around your life, not the other way around.
But with that freedom comes the grind. And this quote really hits the nail on the head. The unpaid travel time is probably the biggest complaint you'll hear. I mean, you could easily spend an hour in the car for a 1-hour massage. That drive time isn't paid, and it can literally slice your effective hourly rate in half. You have to be really smart about which jobs you decide to take.
And that leads us to probably the biggest, most important question on everyone's mind. What about safety? Going into a stranger's home or a hotel room, that comes with risks. And it's a huge concern for anyone thinking about this kind of work. So how does Zeel handle it? Well, they have a few key things in place. First, there's a dedicated trust and safety team that you can actually talk to. But honestly, the most critical piece of the puzzle is this. You have the power to leave. Anytime. If something feels off, you walk out. Period. No penalty. Plus, the client rating and reporting system helps weed out any bad actors, which protects the next therapist.
Okay, one last thing we need to be real about. The work isn't always guaranteed. In some big cities, you could be super busy, but in others, the volume of work might be really low. That inconsistency means that for a lot of therapists, Zeel is a fantastic side hustle for extra cash, but it might not be steady enough to be your only source of income. So we've looked at the good, the bad, the money, and the freedom. After weighing all of that, what's the final call? Is becoming a Zeel therapist actually the right move for you? Let's break it down real simple. Zeel is pretty much perfect for you if you're craving control over your schedule and you want to make a lot more per hour, especially as a side gig. But if the idea of an inconsistent paycheck, tracking your own mileage, and buying all your own supplies makes you nervous, then the security of a traditional spa job is probably the smarter way to go.
And don't just think of this as some temporary gig. For the right person, it can be a really great long-term career. Just listen to this therapist. They've been on the platform for over 5 years, they're still busy, and they're still making great money. It just goes to show that if this freelance model fits your lifestyle, it can be incredibly rewarding for years to come. So in the end, it really all comes down to this one question you have to ask yourself. What do you value more? Is it the freedom, the flexibility, and the high earning potential that comes with being on the road, or is it the stability, the predictability, and the built-in support system of a traditional spa? Your answer to that will tell you everything you need to know.